First, our electoral system is robust. Acts of foreign interference did occur during the last 2 federal general elections, but they did not undermine the integrity of our electoral system. Our system remains sound. Voters were able to cast their ballots, their votes were duly registered and counted, and there is nothing to suggest that there was any interference whatsoever in this regard. Nor did this foreign interference have any impact on which party formed the government in the 2 most recent elections. Nonetheless, the acts of interference that occurred, some of these acts have been established while others remain only suspected, are a stain on our electoral process and impacted the process leading up to the actual vote.
So at the riding
Although it is
level.
impossible to determine whether they had an impact on the number of votes received by each candidate in any of the ridings affected, there is one riding where this information may have led to the election of one candidate over another, but I cannot say for sure. Foreign interference is a real occurrence and a serious threat, and one that is probably impossible to completely eradicate. But we must do all that we can to detect, prevent, and counter it. In the next phase of the Commission's work, we will need to deepen our understanding of the mechanisms that generate or facilitate foreign interference. We have already identified 2 such mechanisms: disinformation and financial support. We need to investigate further, including by examining the rules governing how candidates are chosen in nomination contests and those governing how the intelligence agencies can conduct their work. We also need to examine how communication problems within the government may be an obstacle to effectively combating foreign interference. That said, solution to counter disinformation, to improve how information about foreign interference is circulated, or more broadly, to respond to such interference, remain elusive. These are, of course, complex issues in themselves, but a number of considerations make the task particularly challenging in the Canadian context. Protecting national security and the neutrality of our senior civil service are important principles, but they also pose challenges. More fundamentally, Canada is a multicultural and democratic society that recognizes and protects individual rights and the rule of law. The rights to reputation and privacy, the right to vote, freedom of expression, and freedom of opinion are at the heart of who we are. We must also avoid taking measures that will stigmatize some of our fellow citizens, particularly those from diasporas.
Right.
But all that make it that much more difficult to fight foreign interference.
I see what you're saying.
Which is generally, but not exclusively, the work of authoritarian regimes. Mm-hmm. To a certain extent, it is an uneven battle.
Right.
This is not to say, though, that we should abandon the values foundational to our society. That will be a trap, one that some will be only too happy to see us fall into. Rather, it means that finding ways to identify and respond to foreign interference and formulating useful recommendations for doing so is no small task. So in addition, I also urge anyone who has relevant information to provide it to the Commission through the forthcoming public outreach initiative, which will be accessible on our website. Merci encore de votre présence et bonne fin de semaine. Thank you again for being here and have a great weekend.